Hi everybody, welcome to my latest little YouTube video. Thank you all for joining me on this latest episode. This is going to be some of the other records that we got from Big Apple Records in Nottingham on Friday. There's some nice things in this. I will try and make it as quick as I can. And to be honest, a lot of these didn't really cost me much. So, like I say, Big Apple Records is in Hertfordshire in Nottingham. So if you're ever in Nottingham, please just go and check this little record stall out. There's always a nice selection of records, and then there's also Records 33 and the Music in West End Arcade, and then there's my old mate Rob in Hertfordshire in Nottingham, but unfortunately he wasn't open on Friday when we went. So right, so let's kick off with this little episode. I hope you're all doing well on this Sunday. Right, the first one is the Stack Vault Tour in London 2. Otis Redding, Eddie Floyd, the Marquez. So obviously it is a live album. I'm not quite sure when it was actually made. It's actually got sleeve notes by Bill Harry, who actually at one point owned Merseybeat newspapers, didn't he, in Liverpool. So side one is Philly Dog, that's the Marquez. Grab the Thing, the Marquez. Last Night, the Marquez. If I Had a Hammer, Eddie Floyd. Knock on Wood, Eddie Floyd. Respect, Otis Redding. I Can't Turn You Loose, again Otis Redding. I've Been Loving You Too Long, Otis Redding. Try a Little Tenderness, Otis Redding. So that is the track listing. That is the front cover. Again, I'm sorry if you're getting, a bit of the reflection off the light. That's the back cover. That's a sleeve. Got a rip there on the spine. Nice photo of Otis Redding there. So it's 9 songs. I didn't actually realise this was actually a live record when I looked at it. It's not in very good condition, to be honest. I think it is playable, but so that is side 1. And that is side 2. Now this record should have been £3, but because I bought quite a few records, some Big Apple Records in Nottingham, got that one for free. Not sure what it plays like because I haven't actually managed to play it yet. But even if it's rubbish, it hasn't cost me anything. But I do actually think it will be okay. There's no scratches on. I think it just needs a clean. And I think it is quite a rare album. Well, rare-ish. If it was in tip-top condition, that's probably like a £25 album. This one was also £3. The Very Best of the Everly Brothers. Now I've actually got a couple of copies of this already. But this one is actually in mono, and it is in flip back sleeves, and the actual cover is in really nice condition. So it's like it says The Very Best of the Everly Brothers, newly recorded versions. So they are re-recordings. This is when they went to Warner Brothers, isn't it? So you get Bye Bye Love, Till I Kissed You, Wake Up Little Susie, Crying in the Rain, Walk Right Back, Kathy's Clown, Bird Dog, All I Have to Do Is Dream, Devoted to You, Lucille, So Sad to Watch Good Love Go Bad, and then Ebony Eyes. That's the back cover. Track listing. Like I say, the actual cover in this is really, really nice. Just the laminate's just starting to go there on it. A slight crease just there, but for £3. No, it wasn't £3, I'm telling you, it wasn't £3. It was £2, or you could get 6 for a tenner. I'm sure that's what it was. So this is on Warner Brothers Records, obviously. I think it is, yeah, it is made in the UK. It's like on an orange Warner Brothers label. There is one that's like on a goldy coloured Warner Brothers label as well. So that is side one. That's what do you know, the light I bought yesterday I've put down there so I can actually look at it, and to be honest that is in really nice condition. There's no scratches or anything on it that I can see. That is side 2. So for £2, well, I didn't even pay £2, did I? Because I got Beetle Dave got 6 for a tenner. So and then again, because I bought that many records off him, I think most of these I actually got for free. Everly Brothers, of course, that both passed away now, aren't they, Phil and Don? But my mum used to love the Everly Brothers. Well, she still, you know, she still does like the Everly Brothers. They did some really nice songs, and the harmonies inspired John Lennon and Paul McCartney to, you know, do harmonies in a lot of the early Beatles songs. I think in the UK they are slightly underrated, the Everly Brothers. In America, I think there was always like very big, weren't they? I think there was, you know, touring on and off, weren't they, for like 20 odd years, weren't they? They fell out, didn't they? And then they like reformed in the 80s. The next one is also one of these. It was £2 each, or 6 for £10. This is Bobby V's Golden Hits. Now Bobby V, I think, if I've got this right, did a tour with the Crickets just after Buddy Holly died, didn't he? And he actually made an album with the Crickets as well. But this is more of like his solo stuff. It's on Liberty Records, and it's actually in a Ernest J. Day & Co. sleeve, which is quite rare. So it's Bobby V's Golden Greats, 15 of his biggest hits. So you've got Take Good Care of My Baby, Take Good Care of My Baby, Devil or Angel, Punisher, Susie Baby, Walk With My Angel, Staying, and Run to Him. Then you've got Rubber Ball. That was a massive hit in the UK. Wasn't really like a lot of the stuff that is famous for, really. It was more like a pop song than a like rock and roll sort of song, isn't it? Please Don't Ask About Barbara, How Many Tears, Every Day, which I think is the Buddy Holly song, isn't it? Sharing You, One Last Kiss, More Than I Can Say, and then Someday. There's actually some nice songs on here. Again, the cover is in actually quite nice condition for its age. Got all the songs there. The back has also got flip back sleeves. It has got an E in the corner there. I'm not quite sure what that means. Like I say, it's on Liberty. Oh, that's actually in quite nice condition, this. Yes, it does need a clean. There's some like little minor scratches on it. Run to Him, that was a big hit as well, wasn't it? Run to Him. Yeah, and Every Day is the Buddy Holly song. That's side one. Nice clean labels, but there is some marks on it which I'm sure will clear up and play okay. That's side 2. Please stay, or try and stay to the end of this video, because the record that's going to be featured at the end is probably going to be one of the most interested the Beatles fans out there. I mean, this is the thing about being a Beatles fan. I also love 60s records as well. So I think this one will actually fit nicely in my collection. I'm a big Buddy Holly fan as well. So, yeah, £2. or was it free? This one's going to be of interest to you Beatles fans out there, Beatles fanatics. And this was only £2, and it is actually a gold and black copy of Please Please Me. No, it's not. I'm joking. It's not. It's actually, I bought this because this is the style that Please Please Me was originally released on. This is the exact sort of label. So it is actually an album by a man called Adam Faith, who again, sadly, is no longer with us. But this is the sort of LP label that was being used when the Beatles recorded their Please Please Me LP, and first issues of that album have this identical label design. Again, this isn't in that bad a condition, to be honest. And this LP is just called Adam, and it's still got the original rice paper anti-static in his sleeve, or whatever you call it. Adam Faith was a decent enough singer. Then he went on to become an actor. He was in That'll Be the Day with David Bowie and not David Bowie, David Essex, wasn't he? Not That'll Be the Day, Stardust. He actually played the character that Ringo played in That'll Be the Day, believe it or not. Then he did a series in the UK called Budgie, which was very, very good. So what we've got on there, we've got Wonderful Time, Diamond Ring, Summertime, Green Finger, Piper of Love, A Girl Like You. Then side 2 is Turn Me Loose, So Many Ways, Singing in the Rain. Well, I never felt more like singing in... No, that's singing the blues, isn't it? Fare thee, Will My Pretty Maid, I'm a Man, and Hit the Road to Dreamland. Arranged and conducted by John Barry. Well, John Barry, sorry. He did all the original James Bond themes, didn't he, and things like that. Not in too bad a condition. Like I said, it is on Parlophone. Probably Adam Faith, as a singer, his most famous song was a song called What do you want if you don't want money? What do you want if you don't want me? And that is how he actually sung on it. I think, in all honesty, he was probably a better actor than he was a singer. That's no disrespect to him. You know, he did have his fans. And like I say, I probably got this for free. Don't think it's actually worth anything, but it's still nice to have in your collection. Or I might take the record out and frame it, because I love the label design. Again, this was one of those where it was £2 each or 6 for £10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this is one of them. So, yeah, but like I said, I think I got all these for nothing really. This is Jerry Lee Lewis. She Still Comes Around to Love What's Left of Me. I think this is like after he's had his like initial like 15 minutes of fame sort of thing. I think this is actually done in the 60s. I think it's on Mercury Records, and yeah, it's on Mercury Records. Very controversial man in his life. He did a lot of things that wouldn't go down well nowadays. In fact, they didn't go down well when he was young. Didn't he marry his cousin, and she was only 15 or something at the time? But he was a great performer. He was a brilliant frontman. He could play his piano and make it sound like anything. He was a very, very, very good entertainer. He's probably best known in the UK for Great Balls of Fire, to be honest. That was like his really, really big hit. I know he did have other hits, but that is probably the one that we know him for best in the UK. There's a date on this. This is actually from 1968. So side 1 is To Make Love Sweeter for You, Let's Talk About Us, I Can't Get Over You, Out of My Mind, and Today I Started Loving You Again. So that is side one. Again, this is actually in quite nice condition. That's the label for side one. Side two, we've got She Still Comes Around to Love What's Left of Me, which is actually the title of this album, isn't it? Louisiana, Release Me, Listen, They're Playing My Song, There Stands the Glass, and then Echoes. To be honest, I've never heard of any of these songs. Nice heavyweight record though. Like I say, this is obviously because he did do a lot of tours in the UK. He did a hell of a lot of tours, and he used to get a lot of the British bands to back him. There's a clip of him on Ready Steady Go, I think it is, and the people that are backing him, was it the Dakotas or something, actually backed him. I think it was the Dakotas, somewhat like a famous band in their own right. So that is the back cover. Again, it's it is in nice condition. I don't know if it's worth anything. In fact, I think that would have made a better front cover, and that probably should have been the back cover, and have the track listing down there. Yes, like I say, very controversial figure in his day, wasn't he? Jerry Lee Lewis, but we shouldn't really think about that. We should just think about the great songs that he did, and he was, one of the pioneers with Elvis and Buddy Holly of rock and roll, wasn't he? And Little Richard and Gene Vincent. The next one of these that was like I got for nothing is the Moody Blues, Our Children's Children's Children. Don't think this is particularly rare. It is sort of like in a gatefold. I think this is on Threshold, isn't it? Which was their own label, although it was distributed by the Decca Record Company, wasn't it? Yeah, 1969 this is from. Do you get anything with it? Oh. So you get this like inner with words to the songs. It is actually in quite nice condition for saying that I got this for nothing. You've got the original Decca inner sleeve, polyline sleeve. To Our Children's Children's Children. I actually think this could be German. I think this is a German copy, but it's in a British sleeve. Because it says Royal Sound. It still says Threshold, so it's Higher and Higher, Eyes of a Child, Floating, Eyes of a Child. I Never Thought I'd Live to Be 100, Beyond, and Out and In. So that's just on side one. Yeah, condition's not bad. Few very light marks on it. Side two, you've got Gypsy, Eternity Road, Candle of Life, Sun Is Still Shining, I Never Thought I'd Live to Be a Millionaire, and Watching and Waiting. The labels are actually quite nice. So that is side one, and then that is side two. The Moody Blues were a bit of a weird band in a lot of ways. They started out as like an R&B band in Birmingham, and Denny Lane, yes, the Denny Lane from Wings, was their original singer. And they had a massive hit with Go Now, and then the hit started to dry up. Denny Lane left, and then they sort of became more of like, I wouldn't say a rock band, more of like a prog rock band at one point. And the biggest hit that they're known for is Nights in White Satin, although they did make, you know, they soon became sort of like known as a album band, although they did release some really nice singles. But that is actually quite, it is in actually quite nice condition, and again it cost me nothing. So right, we've got I think 4 more. Is it 4 more? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 5 more. So I will try and make this as quick as I can. Right, the next one is by another band that was on Parlophone. They used to record basically next door in a studio to the Beatles half the time, although I don't think the Beatles really ever thought that much of this band, although this band did actually record a George Harrison song, and I think George at the time didn't really like it and said it just sounded like session men playing it, which I think is a bit harsh because they did do a good version of it. And the band is the Hollies, and this is from 1966, and it's called The Hollies for Certain Because. And this was, I think I paid £5 for it. It's going there, look, and it's going there. But this is the same construction for this as what the Parlophone used for Beatles for Sale. So you open it up like that, and then the record comes out there. So this spine is usually absolutely rubbish. It is actually quite a nice album. Very underrated, I think, in a lot of ways, the Hollies. Yes, they did have a few hits. But there was always sort of like overshadowed by obviously the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, the Who, and things like that. Graham Nash obviously got fed up around 1968, and he went to live in America, didn't he, and did Crosby, Stills and Nash, which later became Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. They started out as basically an R&B band, again with harmonies from Buddy Holly, and influenced by people like the Everly Brothers as well, hence the name The Hollies, because they loved Buddy Holly. Then they started to write their own songs. When they started to write their own songs, that was when they came into their own, I think. This has got 12 songs on it, so it starts off with What's Wrong With The Way I Live, then Pay You Back With Interest, which I think was a B-side, but I'm not 100% sure. Then Tell Me To My Face, Clown, lovely song, Clown is. Suspicious Look In Your Eyes, and It's You, that's side 1. Side 2, High Classed. Then you've got Particular Situation, What Went Wrong, Crusader, Don't Even Think About Changing, and then it finished off with Stop, 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 which was a very big hit. So like I say, it's very reminiscent. The construction of this is very reminiscent with the Beatles, although this is from 2 years later. Lovely photo there of the band. That's Graham Nash, by the way, who went on to form Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. That is Tony Clark, who was the original singer. Them two, the harmonies between them two, and then this chap here, were absolutely amazing at the time. Once Graham Clark left, I don't think the Hollies ever sounded quite the same again. That's no disrespect, because they did go on to make some brilliant songs like The Air That I Breathe and things like that. So this is on Parlophone. They did go on to record for Polydor, that's what I was going to say. And it's mono, and it's PMC 7011. So it was released quite near Revolver then, wasn't it? Again, it has got the original sleeve in the sleeve. Yeah, it's got a few marks on it, but it's nothing too bad. And it has got sold in the UK, subject to resale price conditions. See price lists. So that's side 1. That is side 2. This was in a little bit more better condition. I mean, it's a playable copy, don't get me wrong. But it tip-top conditions of this album do actually go for around the £50 mark. Like I said, I think I paid £8. If I was going to sell it, which I'm not, I think I'd probably get about 10, maybe 12. But I've just got it to add to my collection. Because the funny thing is, I've got loads of Ollie's albums, but I can't actually remember if I've got this one or not. Which I'll probably find out I have. But yeah, brilliant band, very overlooked nowadays in a lot of ways. If you like the Beatles, or like the earliest Beatles up to about 1965, 1966, you'll probably like a lot of the Hollies songs as well, to be honest. Next up we've got, this is another strange band that started off having loads of hits in the UK. The hits dried up in the UK, they went to America, they came absolutely massive in America, and then came back to the UK for the end of their career. And it's Freddie and the Dreamers. Now, they are a bit of a strange band because they started off as a straight R&B or pop band or rock band, whatever you want to call them. But then Freddie Garrity, the singer, started jumping up and down on stage, and then people thought that they were a comedy act, although they weren't. But then they did sort of like put comedy into the act. This is on EMI, and this is Nut 11. So it is basically the best of Freddie and the Dreamers. Nice photo on the front. And I think up until his death, you could actually still go and see Freddie and the Dreamers, although he was their new original member. So it has got some good songs on this. I'm just looking. It's got I'm Telling You Now, which was a big hit. Playboy, don't know that one. If You've Got a Minute, Baby. Short, Over You, I Understand. If You're Gonna Make a Fool of Somebody, that was a big hit. If you're gonna make a fool of somebody. If you're gonna make a fool of someone. Brilliant song, to be honest. Do the Freddie. What Have I Done to You? Don't Make Me Cry. Side 2. You Were Made for Me. You were made for me. Everybody tells me so. You were made for me. In fact, I think they did that on, of all things, Blue Peter kids show in the 1960s, and that's where Freddie was like jumping up and down and things like that. It was like, I think it used to be on YouTube. I don't know if it still is. Ever so funny. What we've got next? You may. I Don't Love You Anymore. Tell Me When. Just for You. A Little You. I Just Don't Understand. I'm a Hog for You. Johnny Be Good. I Love You Baby. It Doesn't Matter Anymore. And it was produced by John Burgess. So yeah, so that's all the track listing, and you've got some information on the back. Like I say, a bit of a strange one. Yeah, I think you either like Freddie and the Dreamers or you didn't. I don't mean this disrespectful. I can take them or leave them. When you get some like compilations of like hits of the Mersey and stuff like that, and there's just a couple of tracks from theirs, and they're mixed in with things like Joan the Pacemakers and, you know, the Merseys and things like that, they don't sound out of place, let's put it like that. Whether I'm going to play this album from start to finish or not, I don't know. So that's side 1. I don't mean that as an injustice, but because I haven't played it, I don't really know what it sounds like. But in all fairness, it is in very, very nice condition. Like I say, I'm not the biggest fan of Freddie and the Dreamers. I know some of the hits, and that's about it. I know they did have a long career, quite a long career. So again, I think all the original members of this band are no longer with us now. Sadly, passed away. But yeah, I mean, there were some really good bands in the 60s, weren't they? This is quite an interesting one. This is on. This is Merseybeat. That's what it's called, and this is Volume 1. I've never seen this before, and again, this was, I think I paid something like £4 for this. So it's not recorded live at the Cavern or anything like that. I think it's just bands that were around in the Mersey Beat era. So let's have a look what's on it. You've got an introduction by Bill Harry. Again, he was the owner of Mersey Beat newspaper, wasn't he? So you've got Let's Stomp, that's Farron's Flamingos, Thumb and a Ride, Earl Preston and the TTs. You've Got Everything, Sonny Webb and the Cascades. Our Day Will Come, the Mersey Beat, brilliant band. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, I Love Her So, that's Derry Wilkie and the Pressmen. Dr. Feelgood, Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, and I don't know if that was recorded with Ringo still in it, I doubt it, because Ringo was the drummer for Rory Storm and the Hurricanes before he joined the Beatles, but I think this will have been recorded after Ringo had left. Side 2, Let's Turkey Trot, that's Ian and the Zodiacs. Beautiful Dreamer, again, Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. Thinking About You, Farron's Flamingos. Hurt, Earl Preston and the TTs. Sigh, Cry, Almost Die, that's the Delvinas. Never heard of them. Someday When I'm Gone From You, that's Mike Pender's. And the Silhouettes, well, Mike Pender went on to be in the Searchers, didn't he? Again, the cover's absolutely nice on this. Flip back sleeves. Oral Records Limited, 104 New Bond Street, London, W1. And the cover for this is, again, quite rare in a lot of ways, because it's by Ernest J. Day & Co. Limited, London. PS 40047 mono. Here's track listing. And you've got photos there of some of the bands, and then you've got an essay by Bill Harry. Essay, sleeve notes by Bill Harry. Alright. Well, I'm looking first because this is the first time I've looked at some of these since I bought them. Do you know something? This is in really, really nice condition. I hope this actually sounds as well as it looks. Long playing. This is Mersey Beat. So, although there is a scratch there, I've just seen. There's a few marks on it. That is side 1. That's side 2. Lovely looking album. Do you know something? I'm really looking forward to playing this. Again, don't know if it's rare, don't know if it's worth anything, because I think I paid, I don't even know if it was a £5. Absolutely fantastic. This is Mersey Beat. Love it. That could turn out to be one of the finds of the day, to be honest. Right, I've got 2 more to go, and these are probably going to be the most interesting to you lot out there. The first one is well, I think it's an unofficial LP. I don't know what, I can't show you the labels because it's still sealed. I haven't opened this one yet. It's the Clash, Stay Free, live in New York City, 1979. And this is the original Clash, when Mick Jones was still friendly with Joe Strum and things like that. So you've got Safe European Home, I'm So Bored with the USA. You wouldn't have thought they'd have done that if it was playing in the USA, would you? Complete Control, London Calling, White Man in Hammersmith Pally, I Fought the Law, I Fought the Law and the Law won, I fought the law and the law won. Jail Guitar Doors, Clash City Rockers. So that's 8 songs on side 1. You get another 8 songs on side 2. Stay Free, The Guns of Brixton. That's a brilliant song. Don't know what's going to sound like live. English Civil War, Clamp Down, Tommy Gun, Garageland, Armageddon Time and White Riot. So there's some absolutely brilliant songs on that. What to say there? Best of the Clash live at the Palladium, New York, USA, September the 21st, 1979. I don't know if you can see that right at the bottom there. Track listing. Looking forward to listening to that. That one was actually quite expensive. I think that was, I don't know if it was £20 or £25. 180 gram edition. So hopefully that should sound okay. Now the last one, what you're saying, hooray, we've come to the end. Sorry, something. If you lot have stayed till the end, you've done very, very well. Proud of you. This is the only one I got in Nottingham that I didn't get from Big Apple Records. I actually got this from the Music Inn, which is also in West End Arcade. And it's just called McCartney. Demonstration record. And it's actually demos and alternative takes for the Tug of War album. Yes, it is a bootleg. But the daft thing about this, it says published 1967, Columbus Records, made in Belgium. It was not Columbus Records as far as I know, and obviously 1967 Paul still the Beatles, wasn't it? So I think that's their get out clause, isn't it? Just say demonstration record. It says recorded 1980. So side one, you've got ballroom dancing, take it away, keep undercover, average person, dress me up as a robber, 3 takes, the pound is shrinking, sweetest little show in town, ebony and ivory. Then side 2, you've got hear me lover, wanderlust, stop you don't know where she came from, unbelievable experience, we all stand together, boil crisis, give us a corduroy, seems like old times, all instruments played by Paul McCartney. Right, so I get it now. So yeah, these are like his working demos, aren't they, for the Tug of War album. Fortunately, the cover's not that good. Very, very flimsy cover. But I suppose I could stick it. Has it been stuck there? I don't know if it's been stuck or not. So that is the cover. Which I think is I don't know if that's a photo or drawing, to be honest. And then that one wasn't that used for ebony and ivory? That photo, or very, very similar photo, wasn't it? It's on Club Sandwich, which they always tried to make out with like semi official albums, didn't they? Or fan club albums. Very, very basic label, just says stereo side A, Tug of War demos, made in UK. Side B, Tug of War demos, made in the UK. Doesn't look like it's been played that much. So that's side 1, or side A. Side B. I don't know what it sounds like because I haven't played it. But the chap that owns the Music Inn, this was actually his own personal copy. And he said the only reason he was getting rid of it was because he'd got 2 copies of it. He didn't realise, but he'd actually got 2 copies. Again, this was actually quite expensive. I think I paid £25. I think he wanted 35 and I offered him 25. Then he said 30 and I goes, no, 25. And I did get it for 25. And then we've even got a little photo picture there of Rupert the Bear. Rupert the Bear. Because obviously he did the frog song, didn't he, or whatever it was called, We All Stand Together, or whatever it was. Which my missus absolutely loves. So yeah, so that, believe it or not, this was the first record that we bought in Nottingham on Thursday when we went. What's Thursday we went? Yeah, Thursday. Yeah. So that's a nice one to have. That'll sit proudly in my Beatles collection. To be honest, I'm happy with everything that I bought in Nottingham. Yes, I did spend more money than I really wanted to spend, but in all fairness, I always do when I go to Nottingham. But I did get some good bargains, and if you add everything up for what I paid, I don't think I've done that bad, to be honest. Yes, paid you know, good price for some of the stuff like the Clash and things like that. But then other things I've got for basically nothing, can't it? Or pennies or pounds or whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be it for today. I'm sorry it's been such a long video. If you have managed to stay right to the end, well done. I'm proud of you. So that is everything. You've seen everything now that I got from my trip, my record trip, or my record shopping trip, or my record digging trip, or going out in the wilds and looking. Like I said, unfortunately Rob wasn't open, because that is where I usually buy a lot of my records from. Always buy stuff from Big Apple Records as well, but I haven't been in the music in for a while. It was nice to talk to the chap, because I haven't seen him for a while either. Like I say, so that was from the music in. Everything else you've seen, apart from a couple that came in the post, which we featured yesterday, was from Big Apple Records in Nottingham. So it does just show you there is still bargains to be found out there. And that's going to be it. Thank you to everybody that is supporting me, subscribing, leaving comments, leaving likes. You know who you are. I love you all. But if you are new to this channel and you've just come across it and you think, oh yeah, that's okay. If you want to subscribe, please do. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It is free. And anything that's free nowadays is good, even if it is an old geezer like me just going on about records and showing you records. That is the whole idea of the channel, to be honest. It's me sharing my Beatles albums and the rest of my collection, and then when I go out on spending sprees, which is about once every 2 or 3 months, but I do spend a lot of money, to be honest, then I like to show you and show you what I've got, basically tell you what I've paid for and things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and like I say, if you've managed to get this right to the end, you've done very, very well. So until the next time, it's Beatle Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. Just remember, you know, we are like a little family now in this little channel. You are all sort of like my friends now as well. If you do send a comment, I do try and answer it, just depending on my work shift patterns. But until the next time, I love you, take care, and whatever you're doing, stay safe. Please, please, please stay safe. Don't do anything stupid, or well, I say stupid, I mean I went out and spent a load of money on Thursday on records that, so that was a bit stupid. But we did have a meal and a few beers as well, so Susie Sue was happy, or Mrs. Beatle Dave. So until the next time, it's ta-da for you all, and remember, Beatle Dave loves you.